Today we have Ariela Karidjian, the COO and co-founder of the BLLA in-state boutique. Ariela is the princess of the boutique hotel industry, and she is ready to ascend the throne. Today she'll talk about all the advantages boutique hotels have over the franchises and what you can do to stand out from those big corporate conglomerates. All this and more on this episode of the Hotel Insider. This episode is brought to you by Hotel Guest Management, the revenue management and hotel management company for boutique hotels. 95% of revenue managers are doing this wrong and they don't even know it. Revenue management is more than just looking at reports and setting rates. What's the point of setting a rate just to put it on an OTA website to compete with a bunch of other hotels? The purpose of using an OTA is to give them the leftovers, not the main course, which is why your hotel needs revenue management marketing. With revenue management marketing, you'll be able to beat the OTAs to the punch by providing your hotel's rates right at your customer's door on all their favorite platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Google, Instagram, and TikTok. It works so well, the OTAs are starting to use the strategy. You'll see it time and time again all over social media. There's only one problem: they can't do it better than us. See if revenue management is something that can benefit your hotel. Click the link below and book your discovery appointment. Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. It is Bruce Jordan, the MJ of the hotel industry, and thank you for tuning to another episode of the Hotel Insider. Today we have the Boutique Luxury Lifestyle Association, and we have their co-founder.
Hi, Bruce.
How you doing? Introduce yourself. Let everybody know who they're talking to.
Hey, everyone. I'm Ariela Karidjian, the partner and COO here at BLLA and the co-founder of Stay Boutique. Also, one half of the mother-daughter duo of Boutique. You guys may know my mother, Frances, and we work very closely representing the boutique community all around the world.
Nice. Now, tell us what made you decide, you know what, this is what we're going to stick to. We're going to stick to our guns. We're not going to sell out to the franchises. We're going to show each and every single hotel what they need to do as a boutique hotel. How did you guys come up with that idea?
I think there's a lot of different things, but it's really about how it was built. My mom built it, to be very authentic. And she started this in the early 2000s when boutique hotels, they didn't have anyone to go to. So they went to brands because they felt more supported. And then with boutique, it was like this unknown world, and it was harder. So she wanted to create this community. I think for me, sometimes what I see is they're like, boutique hotel reports, boutique hotels, and there's not one independent. It's all soft brands, and you see the soft brands trying to dominate it and kick out the small guy yet again.
What is going on with the soft brands? I'm seeing that a lot, especially with Hilton and the Tapestry, and I think everybody's trying to get into the soft brand business because the most important thing about a boutique hotel is the identity.
Of course.
They don't want to be associated with this big, huge conglomerate. They want the rewards programs, but they don't, and they want to be in the search engines, but they don't want to be associated with that big, huge conglomerate. So, like, what are some of the things that you believe a soft brand can't offer that a boutique hotel can do on their own?
First thing, freedom. You will not get that. No matter what they try to advertise to you, you're not getting that. The biggest thing that I see happening is with an independent hotel, when they're building the hotel, they're like, distribution. And I think that's the biggest thing that a big brand offers. But technology is changing. Social media is changing what distribution is. And no longer, in 10 years, they're not going to have the same power that they have now. But I think what's really big about the boutique community is that there's a place for everyone. So there's people that like something that is more cookie cutter or that it's based on points, and that's okay. But we also have to make sure that there's room for someone who wants something different and who may pay a little bit more, but to have something experiential. I think the biggest thing with boutique hotels is it's not about a guest. It's like, okay, it's not heads and beds. It's about who is this guest. That's why they hate business, even though the money is great, but from Expedia or from large OTAs, because they're getting people who are looking for a deal. And then I think with boutique hotels, it's also about community. So it's guests enhancing the experience for each other. So the way that you look at, guest relations or just how boutique hotels are made these days are drastically changing. So it's big brands, they do offer a lot of great things. And I always say, what's the difference between a hotelier and a boutique hotelier? Mm-hmm. A hotelier builds hotels for money, and that's okay. But a boutique hotelier builds hotels not just for money, but for fulfillment.
That's right.
And it's a passion, and it's a different road, and in a lot of ways, it's a much harder road. It's more of that entrepreneurial spirit. You're risking more, but the reward is so much bigger. And it's not always just in money. It can be in money as well, but it's also in just, happiness. And I know that sounds so kind of like fluff, but it's what we've seen with COVID is that mental health is everything. Mm-hmm. And people want to be happy in what they do because our careers take up such a big portion of our lives.
Absolutely.
We're seeing that now. So with boutique hotels, a lot of the times, it's usually just a more enjoyable process. Not always, but that's the feedback that we get.
What are some of the pros and cons that you've seen throughout your career when it comes to franchise hotel versus boutique hotel?
Yeah, the pros right now, because it's changed, the pros with the big brands, number one is the distribution. Mm-hmm. Number one, especially if you're new to hospitality, it can kind of be that jump start. But then 3 years in, you're like, oh, I know what I'm doing now. And you're like, oh no, I now have this contract and they're taking so much.
Yeah, they're taking everything.
They're like, there's carbon dioxide. Oh, I need 10% of that. That is what it's like. And so that's the pro and the con, and then with being an independent boutique hotel, the pro is the freedom, the creative outlet. You can do what you want with design. You can experiment with more. Yeah. It's easier to get things approved. You don't have a book that you have to stand by or have these, average room rates. There's more freedom to explore and to do things that are different. And then the con is that it's more of a risk.
Yes.
It's more of a risk. So you have to love creating hotel experiences to be in the boutique hotel space.
I think the one thing I think the boutique hotels miss so much is, besides the big invoices, I think they miss the audits. They miss those audits that they get every year. And say,
oh my gosh,
here's a $1 million PIP.
Yeah, it's like
perfectly good furniture.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I think we've tried reaching out to the big brands and been like, let us help you about how you work with boutique hotels. And it's just they can't get past the ROI heads and beds mindset. I think what's happening now, and again, there's space for everyone. But when you talk about independent boutique, they look at two things, and this is where they will always get it wrong, and that's okay. It's all about design and technology. That is two out of many things that create a boutique hotel.
Absolutely.
It's the mission. It's, how close is your team as a family? It's how you treat your guests. It's how do you incorporate the local culture. And no, it's not check local coffee, check this, check that. Localization is something that the hotel is being built ingrained into the local community. And it honestly, this also goes back to gentrification as well, which is a big topic that we've been talking about. But it's how do you incorporate those that have been there for generations, into the hotel? How can it be a source of good instead of always something, that's bad when it comes to gentrification. Exactly. And boutique hotels more and more have been looking at that. And that's what I've been seeing, but they also get creative. So they'll work with local boutique businesses, like a cool retail store, like a cool vinyl store. You just see them, they just like to experiment with what a hotel experience is. When it comes to the big brand, it is a formula. It is a formula. No matter what marketing they try to give to owners, it is a formula, and it works. Guess what? It does work. The formula works.
That's the problem, is that it's a formula that they try to apply to each and every single market, even though each and every single market is different. Exactly. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, but you're still doing it.
Because that's the only way they know how to operate. That's the only way they know how to. With, this entrepreneurial boutique world, it's not, when you try to put it into a formula, it fails.
Yes.
So they don't really know how to operate without that formula. Yeah. But I think it's just what we try to do is we try to celebrate the truly independent boutique hotels. Give them a spotlight, showcase them, because they need to be celebrated. And you know what? We need to celebrate the lenders who also believe in them. Because that's a huge issue that we talk about at our board meetings all the time, is you want to build a boutique hotel, but every lender bank is like, okay, so what brand are you going with?
Yeah.
And it's real, so you have to go to high net worth individuals, which is very hard to come across. It's a privilege to be able to go to high net worth individuals or family offices. That's for someone who's very privileged. So it does make it very hard. So we're trying to also highlight lenders to kind of create that sense of FOMO, like, oh, look, they gave him money. Don't you want to give him money? So,
that's a smart move.
We'll see. We'll see.
What's the top advice that you have for people that want to invest in boutique hotels? Top 3.
Oh my gosh, top 3 things to investors.
Besides, know your market.
Well,
yeah. So
of
start
course.
there. Know your market.
Create the hotel with the core of localization from the beginning, from day one. That's how you will stand out from everyone else. If it's built on that, and make sure you're hiring people who are from that area. Honestly, especially a general manager, I believe, is when because then they know everyone, and you can kind of create that like homey sense. Like, we forget a hotel is really you welcoming people to your home. We've lost that hospitality aspect. And that would be number 2. Don't forget, a hotel is part of the hospitality industry. Think of it as like, you're having a dinner party and you're welcoming people, and it's creating that essence when they're greeted into the lobby. Don't get so into technology. Yes, technology enhances human connection. It doesn't replace it. That is the second biggest one. Don't forget, technology enhances, does not replace human connection, especially for hospitality. You lose what the hotel is, then you're just a bed. We don't want to lose that. And the third one is take care of your team. We really have to change the way we take care of our team members. It can't go on as it's been.
Yeah, it's been pretty tough.
It's been awful, and it's hospitality in general. Hotels, restaurants, bars, just having it based on tips and everything, that has to go, and we have to find a new solution. And I was talking to a friend of mine who's actually building a hotel where it's kind of like, giving ownership to everyone as well. How does that work? Because a lot of other industries do that, and how can we bring that into hospitality? And I have one more. Don't be narrow-minded about the hospitality industry. Look at other industries. You got to look at what is the coffee world doing, what is the fashion world doing, because to look at it from a 360 perspective, when it comes to you're interacting with guests, we all are, or clients, we have to look at what other industries are doing and what can we bring into the hospitality industry, because that's how we move forward.
I agree.
I've tried doing that, and I got "you're crazy" a lot, but I think people are starting to understand that there's so many similarities. And if you're building a boutique property, don't look at it as always boutique, niche, and hospitality. Look at it as a boutique concept within the world of boutique. So you have more similarities with your customer in a boutique coffee shop than you do in a DoubleTree.
That's true.
To start looking at that, and also how you can work with them, collaboration, partnership. I think I'm on number 6, but you kind of just had me going. So.
I know. I have one more question for you.
Okay.
And it just left the top of my head. Oh, hot spots. All right. So what are like some of the hottest spots
Oh my gosh.
for boutique hotels right now that you've seen so far?
Oh, you mean in development? Oh my gosh. Hudson in New York.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, there's so much happening there. Palm Springs. Palm Springs is a big one. Oh my gosh, I don't know if this is a hot spot, but I was just there and it was Sedona, and I feel like it could totally use some boutique development. It really, really could. It's so beautiful and magical, and it's all artistic and crystals, which are so trendy right now. You could get that Gen Z millennial who's going to pay a ton of money for something nice in Sedona. So that should be a new one.
Sedona.
Yes.
Sedona. Yeah, thank you. Listen, tell everybody how they can get in touch with you.
Okay, hit me up on LinkedIn, Ariela Karidjian. I love LinkedIn. It's my favorite social media platform, aside from TikTok, as we discussed. And then if you want to email me at Ariela@Boutique Association, even just to say hello, I love connecting with everyone. And we are a family, we are a community. That's how my mom and I have built our organization. So looking forward to connecting with you. Thank you, Bruce.
You're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate you for being on the show. Listen, you know what time it is. This is Bruce Jordan at MJ of the Hotels. Thank you for tuning to another episode of the Hotel Insider, and we'll be seeing you soon.